our fourth trade of night number one. Right after that, in exchange between the two teams that battled it out for a Lombardi Trophy this past NFL season. The Eagles move up ever so slightly from 32 to 31 with the Kansas City Chiefs, who move back by a spot to end out the opening round. In addition, the Eagles will send pick number 164 overall, a fifth rounder, to come on Saturday back to Kansas City. And after the Eagles make the deal, Kev, the pick is now official, and it is in. The 31st overall pick of the 2025 NFL Draft, Philadelphia Eagles, reigning Super Bowl champs, have drafted the linebacker out of Alabama, Jihaad Campbell, a very highly touted prospect in this year's draft class in 2025. Howie Roseman, who's been good at drafting those defenders out of the SEC, takes Jihaad Campbell at 31st overall.
This year's sports grade, they're like, hey, K-Dub, could you do draft grades for us? I said, guys, I'm a little busy, but I'll get you one. I gave it to him months ago. I said, here's the Eagles grade, A+. Because that was a guarantee, wasn't it? It always was. Last year, NFL World went wild. Oh, how could Buffalo trade with KC? I hope we hear the same outcry. Chiefs got pants in the Super Bowl. Philadelphia Eagles let them know what was what. And then they allow the Eagles to come up here and get one of the 15 best players in this class at pick 31. Thank you very much. And by the way, oh my goodness, all of a sudden the Eagles value middle linebacker? Yeah. Zach Bourne nearly flirted with Defensive Player of the Year. They paid him, get another great one in town. Eagles look pretty good to me. Super Bowl favorites for a reason.
And they love SEC talent, don't they, right? You get a player that runs a 4.5 40, can run sideline to sideline, not afraid to hit, and just steps up in terms of run support. That's all you can ask for. A wrecking ball in terms of the middle linebacker position. And he's a young, athletic player that can be utilized in a multiple looks throughout the regular season and provide depth for Bourne in that defense. They are legit. Their defense, and we talk about teams just being able to compete year in and year out. That defense is going to be there top 10 for the next 3 years because of these type of players and talent.
In the last 10 years, Alabama has had the most first-round selections out of any school in the NFL draft. That was their second first-rounder going tonight. Tyler Booker, 12th overall to the Dallas Cowboys. 31st overall, Jihaad Campbell goes to the Philadelphia Eagles. So, blue and cap, a dominant defense that led the Birds to their second Lombardi Trophy in franchise history. Might have just got another piece to make it even better. Yeah, what were you guys hearing? And Blue, you can direct the conversation. Well, what were you guys hearing about what Philadelphia's draft philosophy was to end out this opening round?
And we talked a little bit about how the Lions just really trying to strengthen an already strong team. The Eagles, the strongest team in the league last year. They add a pick at a position where they are not known historically to make high draft picks, but Jihaad Campbell clearly ranked very high in a lot of prospect lists, and he goes here at 31.
Mike, this is a top 20 player. And the Eagles, who typically don't do this, once Walter Nolan, their number one guy that they wanted, went off the board early, they just took the best player on the board. Now, I know Donovan Ezra-Rocco is a lot of guys, a lot of Eagle fans wanted this guy, but guess what? Campbell's a highly graded player. He's higher on their board than everybody's boards. So now they got Zach Bourne, who's being paid $17 million a season, who, by the way, Mike, was signed to be a backup edge rusher and a special teamer. I mean, this is what happens sometimes. You just luck into stuff. Howie Roseman's a great GM. Vic Fangio, the best D coordinator in the league. By the way, they had the number one defense last season, but they lost 5 starters. Kobe Dean is one of them. He suffered a torn patella tendon. He might not be back till midseason. He's on the final year of his deal. This is a no-brainer. This is a great value pick with a great football player. And it's funny, the guys were talking about going back to the SEC. The Eagles really ignored the SEC for 2 decades. Now nobody goes harder at Georgia and Alabama than Howie Roseman.
Ben, I'd like to burn about 8 minutes here to keep it from going back to the desk, but I have to get people involved as we like to pass the ball around.